Okay, so I'm going to start covering a question from the second lab. So this is from sample Midterm B. So the question is, which of the following statements about standard deviation is false? So let's look at condition A. So the standard deviation has the same units of measurements as the original observations. So let's see, condition A. So we know S squared is going to give us units squared. And this is for anything that's a quantitative variable. So for example, heights. So if we're measuring meters, it'll be, if we're finding the variance, it'll be in meters squared. So our standard deviation is just going to be the square root of S squared. It's going to be the square root of units squared. And that's going to give me the units. So this is correct. So number B, standard deviation of a set of observation is the average of the squares of the deviations from the sample mean. This is false. Instead of standard deviation, it should be variance. So here we know that B is going to be false. So again, this is the answer, but let's check the other three to make sure. So number C, if sigma is equal to 0, then all observations have the same value. So this is true because S is going to be from n, I is equal to 1, xi minus x bar, squared over n minus 1, square root of all that. So we know that if xi will be equal to x bar when all the observations have the same value. So when we take the difference squared, we get 0 squared, and that'll still be 0. So 0 over any number will be 0. So this is true. Number D, the standard deviation should be used as a measure of variability when the mean is chosen as the measure of center of the distribution. This is again true because if we recall the definition of variance, it's a squared deviations from x bar, and then here standard deviation would just be the deviations from x bar. So again, this is true. And then E, the standard deviation should not be used as a measure of spread when the distribution is strongly skewed. Again, this is true because when it's strongly skewed, then x bar is not a reliable measure of central tendency, so we would use the median instead. So the answer choice should be B.